Welcome to 5 Good Minutes. You're listening to today's inspirational message on the subject of awe and worship with Kurt Bjorklund.
So we're just talking about awe, worship, the sense of the greatness of God. And in Romans 12, verse 1, it says, I appeal to you, therefore, brothers, by the mercies of God, to present your bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to God, which is your spiritual worship. Now, the word therefore is referring to all that's come before in the book of Romans. And without being overly pedantic, going back through the book, Romans 1 starts with this statement about the gospel and then the justification of God because his wrath is being revealed against humanity that turns away. And then in Romans 2 and 3, we see the ways that people have tried to through their own righteousness, goodness, appease that sense of God. And then we get a little historical run on how justification by faith works in chapter 4. And then by the time we get to 5, you start to see this laying out of this gospel message of what Jesus does, how he is the new Adam versus the old Adam. And then 6, 7, there's still this ongoing struggle to live in the reality. And then you come into 8, and again, there's this glorious statement, there is now, therefore, no condemnation to those who are in Christ Jesus. And then Romans 9 through 11 is maybe hard to get your head fully around as it speaks to the idea of Israel and the universal goodness of God that shows up in all these ways in our lives. But the pivot comes in chapter 12 where he says, now because of all of these mercies, that it's not about you, it's about God. Now I want you to give your life as a living sacrifice. This is a little bit like this, and I say a little bit because this analogy, when I say it, will feel not like maybe you think it should feel. But hang with me for a second. So if a baby is born and they kind of start their life with an idea of saying, you know, and obviously a baby doesn't say anything, but why do you make me lay in this crib? I'm ready for more. And the mom or the dad says, no, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to do everything. And then as the child grows, the child hits an age where they say, wow, you have taken care of me. How can I honor you? Now, here's the problem with that analogy. Humanly speaking, we actually want our parents to live to serve us and set us free, not to demand allegiance. And you may say, well, is this God just demanding allegiance like that? Like saying, because of all I've done for you, now you must. No, this is actually more like looking back at some point and saying, you know what? I now realize everything my mom or dad has done. Let me care for them in some way. And the problem is human parents are imperfect. And so no matter how good your parents were, there were things they said, things they did that weren't great in your journey. But when you have your own kids, what happens is you realize that your mom, your dad were there for you in all these moments that you didn't fully appreciate or thank them for. And all of a sudden you see through the eyes of taking care of your own child, the love, the mercy, the goodness that they brought into your life. And it's almost like Romans 12 is saying, the awe of God is inspired when you can see the full mercy that God has given you, and then say, what would I want to do other than worship this God? And God is perfect in his mercy, unlike human parents who are far from perfect. So one of the ways we get awe, one of the ways we live in awe is when we can review, rehearse, celebrate, savor the mercy of God. So how can you bring yourself to savor the mercy of God and not be the child who maybe rightly in a human relationship, but but it demands instead of savors the goodness that's been lavished on you, because that will lead to worship and awe.
Thanks for joining us here today. There's a lot of great content to explore on Orchard Hill Plus and on the Orchard Hill main feed from the weekend. Have a great day.